Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we are exploring a really interesting Amazon reselling story. But with a twist, we're really going to be dissecting a fascinating journey of one reseller who found just incredible success using a very unique approach.
And it's really not just about the strategies she uses, but about her mindset and adaptability, which I think are going to resonate with a lot of you listening out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Our source material today is this great interview where this reseller kind of shares her entire story, and she's actually joining a coaching team, and this interview is part of that process. She's really opening up about how she built an $80,000 a month business while working full-time and raising a family. I mean, just imagine going from digging through book bins at Goodwill 6 months pregnant to hitting those kinds of numbers.
It's incredible. And one of the things I find so fascinating about her story is how she went from the typical hustle, that low profit, high volume reselling, to something much more streamlined and ultimately more profitable. So her story really highlights how sometimes less is more.
Yeah, and she talks about that.
Yeah.
Starting with used books, trying online arbitrage, even packing hundreds of boxes of trail mix to sell. But she realized that chasing every small sale was just exhausting. It wasn't getting her where she wanted to be.
Right. And that's where this replens model comes in. Instead of creating her own products or brands, she focuses on reselling existing brands, recognizable brands. It's a totally different approach. And as she explains, it allowed her to work smarter, not harder.
It is almost counterintuitive, right? I mean, we think about Amazon as this platform for launching these new products,
Yeah.
but her success with this replens model just shows there's a whole other side to the game.
Exactly. And Replens offers this whole level of flexibility and risk management. That can be so appealing, especially for somebody who's juggling a full-time job and family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, she also mentions using prep centers, but in a very strategic way, not just for packing and shipping, but for navigating sales tax. So she ships her inventory to a state without sales tax, effectively turning a potential cost into a savings.
It's a clever tactic, especially as you scale up and you start dealing with higher priced inventory. This reseller clearly understands that optimizing every single aspect of her business, even those little details, can significantly impact her bottom line.
Oh, yeah. And her December numbers are proof. Over $80,000 in sales, an average sale price of $72, and a net margin of almost 21%. Even with her investment in tools, which we'll get to later.
Now, it's important to remember that December is a unique month, and those figures are likely inflated because of the holiday season. But her overall trajectory is really impressive and demonstrates that this replens model combined with her strategic thinking is really producing results.
Absolutely. She's pretty tight-lipped about the specific tools that she uses. But she does emphasize the why behind her choices, which I think is more valuable than just giving us a list. For her, it all starts with mastering Keepa.
Right. Keepa is essentially the backbone of her replens strategy. It's a tool that analyzes product trends on Amazon, gives her the data she needs to make informed decisions about what to resell. She stressed that understanding that data is more important than just having a fancy software suite.
Yeah, and she is a big advocate for not jumping into expensive tools prematurely. Her advice is to start with the essentials, understand the fundamentals, and gradually incorporate more advanced tools as your business grows. And, as you identify specific needs, it's a very practical approach. It can save new resellers a lot of money and frustration.
Absolutely. It's all about having a solid foundation before adding layers of complexity, and she embodies that in her approach.
100%. Speaking of complexity, she uses taxable arbitrage, or TA, which can be a bit overwhelming for new resellers, but she's found a way to make it work for her replan strategy.
Yeah, she's not just, throwing darts at a board. She's strategically refining her results within TA, focusing on the leads that align with her criteria for these profitable replens products. So this really targeted approach saves her time and keeps her from getting lost in this, endless sea of product options.
That's a key point, using the tools intelligently to support your chosen model, not letting the tools dictate your business. She also mentioned using lid lists, but I know there are some strong opinions about those in the reselling community. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, lead lists can be a double-edged sword. If you're treating them as shopping lists, you risk falling into that trap of price wars and market saturation. But this reseller uses them differently. She uses lead lists for research. So think of it like intel gathering. She's looking for patterns, identifying promising brands, and then diving deeper into her own analysis.
So it's not about blindly following someone else's recommendations. It's about using those leads as a starting point for your own investigation. That level of critical thinking is probably a big factor in her success.
Oh, absolutely. She's not just jumping on every opportunity. She's carefully evaluating whether it fits her replens model and her overall business goals. And that selectivity is crucial in a competitive marketplace like Amazon.
For sure. Her story is really about, being adaptable and finding what works best for you. She talks about how she connected with another reseller from the UK who was struggling, and she offered him encouragement and reminded him that everybody faces challenges. It's about pushing through and finding your own rhythm.
That's such a powerful reminder. The Amazon reselling world can feel very isolating at times, but her story emphasizes the importance of community and supporting one another. It's not just about individual success, but about helping each other navigate those ups and downs of this entrepreneurial journey.
And it ties into this idea of an abundance mindset that she embodies. There are countless ways to succeed on Amazon, and her story proves that you don't have to follow a specific blueprint to reach your goals.
Right. It's about recognizing that success is not a finite resource. There's enough for everyone. And by sharing knowledge and supporting each other, we all benefit.
That's so true. She also talks about the importance of persistence and learning from failures. She's incredibly open about her early struggles and the mistakes she made along the way. It humanizes her success and shows that it wasn't all smooth sailing.
Yeah, and it's refreshing to hear someone at her level acknowledge the challenges and the setbacks they faced. It's a reminder that even the most successful entrepreneurs have had their share of stumbles, and it's often those moments that lead to the most valuable lessons and growth.
Absolutely. She also emphasizes the importance of having a clear vision and defining what success means to you personally. It's about crafting a life that aligns with your values and aspirations, not chasing someone else's definition of success.
Right. Success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's about designing a life that brings you fulfillment and joy both personally and professionally. And for her, that means having the flexibility to spend time with her family, pursue her passions outside of work, and build a business that supports that lifestyle.
She calls her approach a lazy hustle, which I love. It's about working smarter, not harder, and finding ways to streamline your business so you can achieve your goals without sacrificing your well-being or burning yourself out.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance, that sweet spot where you can be both productive and fulfilled. And her story shows that it's possible even in a demanding field like Amazon reselling.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, something that really stood out to me was her honesty about initially trying to model her business after what she saw others doing. Even though those methods didn't feel authentic to her. They're a common trap, especially when you're starting out.
It is. It's easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to others and feeling like you have to follow their exact blueprint. But her journey shows that true success comes from finding your own unique path and building a business that aligns with your strengths and values.
I think once she embraced that philosophy, her business really took off. She stopped trying to fit into someone else's mold and instead created a system that perfectly suited her replens model, her lifestyle, and her preferences.
It's a powerful example of how authenticity and self-awareness can lead to greater success than simply trying to replicate someone else's formula.
Well, now she's living proof that it's possible. She built this thriving replens business while working full-time, raising a young child, and even making time for her personal interests. It's a testament to her incredible work ethic, her strategic mindset, and her unwavering belief in herself.
Yeah, it's inspiring to see someone shatter those limiting beliefs that hold so many people back. She's proving that you can achieve ambitious goals while still prioritizing your well-being and living a fulfilling life outside of your business.
It's not about glorifying the hustle. It's about creating a sustainable and joyful path to success.
Absolutely. It's about designing a life that you love both inside and outside of your business. And her story is a beacon of hope for anyone who dreams of achieving financial freedom and creating a life on their own terms.
And it brings us back to that pivotal moment when she connected with that struggling Amazon seller from the UK. It goes beyond just offering advice. It's about embodying that spirit of community and recognizing that we're all in this together.
Yeah. It's a reminder that success is not just about individual achievement, but about creating a supportive and uplifting environment where everyone can thrive. Her willingness to share her knowledge and offer encouragement speaks volumes about her character and her belief in the power of community.
I love that. It's a beautiful reminder that we're stronger together, and that collaboration can lead to exponential growth.
And that's the kind of energy that fuels innovation and inspires others to achieve their dreams.
She talked about her initial struggles and the piles of failed products in her basement, a reminder that even the most successful entrepreneurs experience setbacks and make mistakes along the way.
Right.
but it's about using those experiences to refine your strategies and grow as an entrepreneur.
Her willingness to be vulnerable and share her struggles makes her story even more relatable. It's a reminder that success is not a linear path, and it's often those moments of failure that lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
It's about reframing those failures as learning opportunities and using those experiences to refine your strategies and grow as an entrepreneur. She also emphasized the importance of having a clear vision and defining what success means to you personally. It's not about chasing someone else's definition of success, but about crafting a life that aligns with your values and aspirations.
That's such a crucial point. Success is a deeply personal journey, and it's about creating a life that brings you fulfillment and joy.
And that's the message I hope listeners really take away from her story. It's about empowering yourself to design your ideal life, building a business that supports that vision, and surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you along the way.
It's about embracing the journey, learning from every experience, and finding that sweet spot where your passion, purpose, and profits align.
And her story proves that it's possible for anyone, regardless of their background or circumstances. It's a testament to the power of human resilience, creativity, and the unwavering belief that we can achieve anything we set our minds to.
Absolutely. It's about tapping into that inner drive, that entrepreneurial spirit that pushes us to break through boundaries and create something extraordinary.
Here's a question for you, our listener. What would it look like for you to build a thriving business, maybe even $1 million business, working just a few hours a day doing something you genuinely enjoy? Because this reseller's story proves that it's not just a dream, it's a possibility. And her replens model might just be the key.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about shifting our mindset from scarcity to abundance, recognizing that there are endless opportunities out there waiting to be discovered. Her success with Replen shows that sometimes the path less traveled can lead to the greatest rewards.
I love that. It's not about competing for a limited pie, but about expanding the pie for everyone.
Precisely. And it's about having the courage to step outside of our comfort zones, experiment with new approaches like Replens, and find what works best for us as individuals.
You know, one of the things that struck me about this reseller is that she doesn't see herself as some sort of Amazon guru or expert.
Yep.
She's incredibly humble and acknowledges that she's learned from countless others along the way, constantly adapting and refining her Replens strategies based on what she's observed and experienced.
That's a hallmark of a true learner. Someone who's always seeking new knowledge and perspectives, recognizing that there's always room for improvement.
And that's what makes her story so relatable and inspiring. It's not about having all the answers from day one, but about being open to learning, adapting, and finding your own unique path to success.
It's about embracing the journey with all its twists and turns and trusting that with persistence and a willingness to learn, you can achieve incredible things.
I think that's the perfect note to end on. This reseller's journey is a reminder that success isn't about following a rigid formula or achieving some arbitrary milestone. It's about finding joy in the process, building a business that aligns with your values, and creating a life that you truly love. Maybe the Replens model is the right fit for you. Maybe it's something else entirely. The key is to keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop believing in your own potential.
It's about recognizing that success is a journey, not a destination, and that the most rewarding experiences often come from embracing the challenges, the learning curves, and the moments of unexpected growth.
So as you go about your day, we encourage you to think about what your ideal work-life balance looks like. What are the things that truly light you up? And how can you create a business that supports those passions? What steps can you take today to move closer to that vision?
Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that first step, embrace the adventure, and never stop learning and growing.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.